today. What I want to talk about is why I use aero handlebars like these.
Hint, it's nothing to do with aerodynamics.
However, before I start talking about these particular handlebars, let's look back over my handlebar history.
These are a set of my old handlebars from about the mid-1980s. They're fairly typical of handlebars of the time, and in particular that the diameter of the bars here was about 26 millimeters. When you hold on to that, the force on your hands is spread over a small area, and therefore the pressure on the palm of your hand can be relatively high, and that can cause hand numbness. Sometime, I think in the mid-1990s, these were superseded by handlebars like this. These have a larger diameter in the center. These are 31.8 millimeters. However, they still narrowed down and were quite small in diameter where you put your hands. So though you could get some relief and use the larger diameter there to spread the load on the palm of your hand, often where you're holding it further out, that was quite a small diameter. Although we had these oversized bars, as they were called, it really didn't help that much in terms of hand numbness. When I started riding Audax in about the year 2000, the distances that I was covering, 2, 3, 4, 600 kilometers, were much greater than I was used to, and I was getting problems with hand numbness. I tried all sorts of things, double wrapping the tape, using track mitts. Although those things often helped a little bit, they didn't cure the problem. In the early 1990s, there was another innovation whereby, although the central section stayed at 31 or 32 millimeters, that continued out to the bend. So this area here stayed larger, which meant that the pressure on your hands was reduced. And indeed, in these handlebars, as you can see there, they've actually been squashed a bit, which means the area over which your hands are resting is much increased. I found myself having very little problems with hand numbness after that. Then in about 2015 I decided to buy a set of integrated handlebars, and these are those handlebars. They're integrated in that the handlebar and the stem are one piece. The fact that these are made out of carbon fibre also helps in that they can mould them to almost any shape, so you can make these much more ergonomic. And as you can see, these are wide. They're also slightly curved, so that you can hold these in multiple positions. These were quite nice in that they had grooves underneath where you could put your fingers. And that brings me to my latest set of handlebars. They are integrated in that the stem and handlebars are one piece. This I find pretty comfortable, and I'll show you that out on the road.
Now, for most of the time when I'm just riding along, I want a slightly less aggressive position, and so I want to sit up a little bit more, so I'll just bring my hands back a little bit like that. Now, the way I've got these set up is that the hoods and the handlebars area is effectively flat. So when I put my hand on there, the force from my hand is spread out over quite a large area, which means I don't get such high pressures. And then if I want to adopt an even more laid back, or rather sit up position, I can go to the tops here where that's fairly flat, and the force from my hands again spread out over the handlebars. So that's how I use these handlebars to alleviate the pressure on the hands. Since using these aero type bars, I've had a lot less problems with hand numbness.